Hello, in this video I'm going to do a presentation about Freddie Mercury. Who was Freddie Mercury? Freddie Mercury was a singer-songwriter and a musician whose music reached the top of US and British charts in 1970s and 1980s. As the frontman of Queen, Mercury was one of the most talented and innovative singers of the rock era. Born Farooq Bulsara in Tanzania, Mercury studied piano in boarding school in India, then befriended numerous musicians at London's Ealing College of Art. Mercury died of AIDS-related bronchial pneumonia on November 24, 1991 at age 45. Early life. Mercury was born Farooq Bulsara on September 5, 1946 in Zanzibar. Mercury's parents, Bomi and Jul Bulsara, were Parsis, or followers of Zoroastrian religion whose ancestors came from Persia. After Bomi and Zur married, they moved to Zanzibar, Tanzania, where Bomi worked as a cashier for the British government's High Court. The family lived fairly affluent life, with a nanny and other domestic workers. Mercury's sister, Kashmira, was born in 1952. At the age of 8, Mercury's parents sent him to a boarding school in Bombay, Mumbai, India, where he studied piano and spent his free time with his aunt and grandparents. It was not long before the charismatic young man joined his first band, the Heretics. In 1963, Mercury returned to Zanzibar. Following the bloody revolution on islands in 1964, the family fled to London. Mercury attended the Ealing College of Art and befriended a number of musicians. In 1969, Mercury joined a group called Ibex as their lead singer. He played with a few other bands before joining force with his future Queen bandmates. Queen. Mercury met his future bandmates, drummer Roger Taylor and guitarist Brian May, around the time he moved to London in the 1960s. They met up with bassist John Deacon in 1971. The quartet, which the Mercury dubbed Queen, played their first gig together that June. In 1973, Queen released their first album, titled Queen. They quickly followed up with their second album, Queen II, in 1974, which they recorded in over just 1 month. The album was the first taste of the group's signature harmonies and music styles, including ballads, folk, blues, metal, pop, and rock, and included the single Seven Seas of Rhye. Queen's popularity continued to soar through the late 70s and early 80s, with The Day at the Races, 1976, News of the World, 1978, and The Game, 1980. After the works, 1984, the group's ability to sell albums began to wane, although Queen continued to draw rich crowds as live act around the world. By 1981, Mercury largely retreated from public life. He did not promote or tour for Queen's next album, Innuendo, 1991, and rumors about possible health problems began to circulate. Before his death, Mercury worked in the studio with Queen. The support were released in 1995 on Made in Heaven, the group's last album with all the original members gone, but clearly not forgotten. This collection of Mercury's final performance reached the top of the British charts. That's all my presentation. Thank you for watching.